I got this shirt at Target of all places. Go figure! Awesome. Anyway, what up everybody? I didn't really have a topic this week. At least nothing clear-cut. Now, as the week progressed, I thought about a few things, but then I thought, well, why not do what I initially planned, which was not to have a topic necessarily, just to kind of go over my viewing habits and what really interested me for the last few days. I typically record on Saturdays, release these videos on Sunday, so that's what I'm doing, actually filming on Saturday. But I wanted to kind of go over, I mean, there was just so much to cover, a lot of news. I thought at first about calling it what entertained me, but there was some pretty heavy news and some tragic stuff and some negative stuff, so I thought, no, like entertained, probably not right, but interested. I mean, it could be good or bad, it's still going to interest you. So anyway, I thought, why not? First things first, rest in peace, Wes Craven. I grew up watching a lot of his movies, a lot of his horror movies, from Nightmare on Elm Street to Scream and everything in between. He was quite the genius storyteller, and damn it, he will be missed. After I filmed, I tried to continue to play Destiny, got kind of stuck and decided I'll continue my Arkham Knight journey, and I'm at, like, as of today, I'm about 94%. I actually finished the story mode. The credits rolled, they showed me one ending, but I hadn't done all the most wanted stuff. I think I had about 4 that weren't at 100%. Including the Riddler stuff. Even though I had done the primary stuff, I still have the trophies to get, so I know that's going to take me a little bit, but it does give you an actual chance, even after you see the ending and the credits roll, like, hey, why don't we let you try to complete this, and then you can see the full ending. So when that's done, I may actually try the New Game Plus. There is one, something like that once you beat the game. They give you like this New Game Plus. I may try that. I'm not sure yet. I have loads of fun with that game, more fun than I have with Destiny. I may try to keep Destiny for a little bit longer, but we'll see. That's the beauty of GameFly. You can get rid of stuff when you need. Anyway, Sunday. We'll start with Sunday. That was the rest of Saturday for the most part. I was Batman or trying to invade other worlds and fulfill my destiny. So Sunday. Fear the Walking Dead. I've been a fan of it since seeing the teaser for it. I'm a big fan of Walking Dead. I was a fan of the comic. I collect the trades. Really enjoyed the show. The pitch for Fear the Walking Dead is to see what happened or what transpired from during the time that Rick was in a coma. Now, for those who've seen Walking Dead or read the comic, you know the very first issue, he gets shot, he's in the hospital, he's out cold, he wakes up, zombie apocalypse. Well, they don't call it a zombie apocalypse, it's the apocalypse, or the dead have risen. They don't really call them zombies, which I'll get into in a second. But anyway, this is supposed to cover the events that occurred prior to Rick waking up. So the initial part of the apocalypse and all that comes about. So it takes place in Los Angeles. I like it. It's only 2 episodes in. I'll probably give a more in-depth review once the season finale comes and goes, if I continue to do these type of videos. But the one thing, now they've set the rules in place. I like both shows, Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. It's one of the shows that I watch when it airs. But I will say, sometimes them not saying the word zombie or acting like they've never seen something like this. I guess in their world there are no zombie flicks, or no way of really discussing it. Like, they don't really get that they're zombies. Like in our world, even though, you know, the zombie apocalypse has never happened, we're quick to name it a zombie or zombie-like. So that's about the only thing. But so far, 2 episodes in, I'm enjoying it. Also on Sunday, a show that I don't wait to watch, and when it comes out, watch it as it debuts or as it first airs, and that's Rick and Morty. I think they're in season 2. I've been a fan since, again, like the teaser trailer for that. It kind of reminds me of Back to the Future in a sense, like Doc Brown and Marty, but this is Morty, Rick and Morty. I like all of it. The animation, the storytelling, it's one of those things where it makes you laugh, and then by the end with the kind of depressing music, it kind of make you emotional. Love their adventures, love to see what they get themselves into. Again, been a fan since the pilot. Lawnmower Dog, which I think was the second episode of the first season. It's a brilliant show, very well written. I'm a big, huge fan of it. So yeah, that was covered my Sunday. Monday, I listened to Solid Monster Sounds Off. That's one of the podcasts that I do listen to. I gotta say I'm a fan of it. He was covering like SummerSlam, his thoughts and whatnot, and the stuff that transpired after. We kind of agreed on some stuff. I enjoy his stuff. I enjoy his take on things. He kind of picked a similar scenario, bringing in experienced independent workers. I think he was talking about Tough Enough at that point, and we kind of agreed. But now that they're doing their network stuff, you don't know. Plus, they did that before it was called NXT before. But I talked about that in my last video. He talked about the Divas Revolution. He kind of placed the blame on Vince McMahon for the failures, made good points for last week's Miz TV segment with Team PCB. How did the Divas expect the fans to care about multi-women matches after the champion says wins and losses of those matches do not matter? So we were kind of in agreement in that respect. And then some news. Now, man, I mean, you have an obsessed fan who apparently was carrying a knife. He already had a restraining order by WWE to not be near the Performance Center for things that he had done, some pretty outlandish stuff. Anyway, he charges the police when they try to tell him to stop. They shoot him. Just a crazy thing. I mean, that was the thing. I mean, I woke up to hearing the news about Hulk Hogan apologizing on Good Morning America for his comments that have caused the WWE to distance themselves from him. I won't go too into depth, because at first before I saw it, just hearing the thought that he actually apologized, I felt was a good step in the right direction. But I'll get into more about him come my Thursday recap. Anyway, so also on Monday, Seth Rollins' girlfriend, I guess it's his girlfriend. I mean, at one point he was engaged. I guess he's no longer engaged. So we see this woman with him on the NXT TakeOver special, because he's sitting front row with this tatted female, who apparently is the one that he kind of got into some trouble with over sexting and pictures of a risque nature. Anyway, I'm talking about Zara Schreiber. She was fired a little bit after the news came out that some stuff, she had posted some racial comments and whatnot, some pictures with the swastika and whatnot. I think the final straw was My Little Pony that had like a Hitler mustache and a swastika armband, and then she was fired on Monday. You know, I guess the lesson here, and I try to tell young talent this, I work for a big firm, and I know of corporations that do this, that look at their employees' social media accounts, whether it be Twitter or Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram or whatever have you, and you know, if you do something that's construed, that, you know, they're fireable offenses if you, say, post something that says that maybe you're representing the firm and you post something that's racially insensitive or some, you know, have some action or something like that. So I don't blame WWE. They're a publicly traded company. They have a zero tolerance policy, especially when it comes to any potential scandals. So I didn't have a problem with them firing her. I mean, the irony of it is she had her debut the night before. But I try to tell young talent, hey, if you're working for a company, wrestling company, you know, try to represent yourself in the best possible light, and understand that regardless of what you post, that stuff never goes away. We've seen other stuff in the news of people who send tweets out and then they delete them only to still get the ridicule because people can screen capture that stuff. So I tell friends who have Snapchat, same thing, like watch what you do, watch what you send, because you never know if somebody screenshots it or screen grabs it, what could possibly come of it. So anyway, again, got no problem with it. I would tell talent, watch what you say, be sure that you're representing yourself well, and if you say anything racially insensitive or anything like that, WWE at least will not tolerate it, especially if it creates a scandal. And then, you know, those are words. Those are one thing. This is completely another. Bram gets charged and arrested for domestic violence and false imprisonment on Monday. TNA says they indefinitely suspended him, which is good. When I heard that, I was like, great. Although I had the question, well, does that mean that he's going to be off the television? Like, are they going to edit him out of the program? And as of this Wednesday, this past Wednesday, they had not. So I don't know. Like, I thought he was married to Charlotte. I think apparently he's going through a divorce. They're going through divorce proceedings, and he's dating this other woman. Yeah, I follow him on Instagram, so he was tagged on a couple of pictures. I saw him, and pretty candid, pretty romantic pictures with this other girl. And she apparently is the one who, I believe, pressed charges. So he's out indefinitely, or suspended indefinitely. You know, that's, man, there's no excuse for that. You kind of got to watch yourself, period. And if it becomes a heated situation, just get yourself out of it. But like I said, they say he's indefinitely suspended, yet he's still on television at this point and still being promoted to a large degree. And I'll get into that in a minute. Another thing I listened to throughout the week is the First Take podcast, ESPN First Take, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, although Stephen A. Smith wasn't there this week, so they had a variety of guest or co-hosts, like Shannon Sharp was on it a couple of times, Ryan Clark was on it, to name a couple, but I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed their opinions and the debate aspect. Now, Monday, for me, always means Raw. Monday Night Raw, watch it every Monday. When it comes out, I have to watch it. So yeah. Couple takeaways from Raw. I won't go into a big review because there's so much to cover. Typically, I only have like a few pages of notes. I have like 6 pages of notes. There's so much to go to. I've seen through so much, and I forgot to even mention that this Saturday, September 12th, at the Clear Lake Recreation Center, Reality Wrestling will be holding their next television taping, and it's going to air on our new station, the CW 39, 11 a.m., September 20th. That's Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. I cannot wait. I'll get into that in a moment, but back to Raw takeaways. Seeing Sting in a WWE ring, man, it is surreal. And there's a part of me that thinks back to him back in 96, 97, 98, Crow Sting, and I still see that guy. I'm not going to criticize anything. Thought his promo was solid. I think him and Rollins could do some phenomenal stuff, and I think it's going to be a good story. Now, the promo is what it is. I think he's playing mind games. We'll see. Seth has got to defend both titles. You figured it was going to happen. He's got to go against John Cena for the U.S. title, and then later on in the evening go against, probably in the main, go against Sting. Man, had I known Sting was going to be at the Night of Champions pay-per-view, we might have gotten those tickets, but we're going to NXT, and we'll be watching Night of Champions on the network. So, let's see. Anything. I'm really curious and intrigued by the Sting-Rollins matchup. I'm really curious what they're going to do. Rusev and Ziggler Now here's the thing. It was a rematch of SummerSlam, so like sometimes I will get a little, tune out to a degree. Not a big deal, but I do that on occasion. However, once they got to the double count-out tease, they got my interest. Really enjoy watching these two, but again, I kind of tuned out up until that double count-out scenario. Then they both get in the ring. Looks like Ziggler's going to get the win. He gets the win anyway by DQ, thanks to Summer Rae's interference, which causes Lana to come out. Now, people can say what they want, and there might be critics of this, but you can't deny the reaction that Lana and Summer Rae get when they get involved. A lot of it's because of Lana. People want to see what Lana's going to do. I'm, for one, am entertained. I was really entertained by the backstage stuff, kind of that they seem to catch some drama happening and whatnot. And now you got Summer Rae and their accusations and Ziggler, and now Lana's like, I don't know what to do, and Rusev's just kind of caught in the middle. Really enjoyed it. I was alright with their Miz stuff, but I'll get into that when I review SmackDown. But anyway, a few other takeaways. The Beat the Clock Challenge for Team PCB, I think, was a great step in the right direction for the Divas Revolution because it allowed each woman to be showcased individually, and it saved any kind of confrontation between the three teammates for a later date. I thought that was great, seeing Charlotte beat the clock in a minute 41 or minute 40 when you actually think a few weeks ago or a couple of months ago, a minute 40 was probably what most divas got on a show on a weekly basis. So, again, 3 separate matches, divas matches, everything was competitive. Really felt like it was a great step in the right direction. I'm looking forward to seeing what Charlotte does. I found out on SmackDown that was a further good move where potentially she could petition to get the title match the week of or prior to Night of Champions. We'll see what happens. I mean, now Nikki's making a big deal with the Bellatron and whatnot. I think all of those are great touches. Owens and Cesaro, oh man, incredible. The physicality, storytelling, I like watching these two. I'm a big fan of both, and I think that they really help elevate each other's game, and both are really doing some great work. I was also impressed by Braun Strowman. Big guy, now not on the same level as these other two, but God, for a presence, you can't deny that he's got presence, and yeah, man, I'm eager to see where this goes. And last week I mentioned, I wasn't sure what the name of the new show was. It's Breaking Ground. Yeah, that's it. And also, New Day can do no wrong in my eyes. Genius! And it was great seeing the Dudley Boys in action. I thought their match on Raw was quite better, and their stuff on SmackDown was quite better than the initial SmackDown match. But again, love watching those guys. Glad they're on my screen on a Raw, on Raw, SmackDown, within the WWE. It's great. So, Tuesday, another podcast I listen to, Stone Cold's podcast, the Stone Cold or Steve Austin show. He had Wade Keller on his show. That was a 2-parter, so I'll cover more of that when I get to Thursday, I believe, or Friday. I think it was Friday. Anyway, Tuesday. Now, normally Mondays aren't just for Raw. It's also for American Ninja Warrior, but I had to wait till Tuesday to watch it. Just ran out of time after Raw. I've been a fan of American Ninja Warrior since it was just Ninja Warrior, and it was filmed in Japan, and it was on G4. Brilliant. Some of the best reality probably the best reality show out there because of the competition and whatnot. A big fan of it. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll train to try to become a Ninja Warrior, even though my height and my size, man, are detriment. A lot of those people are quite smaller than me. Not a big deal. Great athletes, and I'm a big fan of the show. Now, also in news, man, what a shock. Not really a shock. I'd known about, heard rumors of this, had heard the urban myth. Well, it's not a myth, apparently. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, WWE Hall of Famer, gets, he's arrested and charged with third-degree murder for a murder that took place 32 years ago. WWE's known. He was a Hall of Famer. They still knew about this. He claims it was an accident, or there was an accident. It was more of an accident than anything else. But his stories had some discrepancies, so now he's being charged. Man, and by Wednesday, I think WWE did the right thing by suspending his Legends contract and kind of taking him off the website for the time being. And if he gets convicted, man, I just wow. But at least justice will be served, at least in the eyes of the victim's family, and my condolences to them. So Wednesday, Flair and Russo on Flair's podcast. I enjoyed that. I also finally listened to the Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant sit down on Shaq's podcast. It was the only one of his that I've heard as of yet. I wanted to hear him and Kobe talk about the time when they were teammates and all the stuff after the fact. But so yeah. I will say this: I will miss Key and Peele when it's over. I think the series finale is this week coming up. I've enjoyed the show since the very first one. I think both guys are extremely talented, extremely funny, and I'm definitely going to miss that show. Bram is still on my television, not suspended. I'll get into that when I review them, because I don't think I watched that till Thursday. Yes, Thursday. So, back to Wednesday. Another show that I watched that I enjoy, Hard Knocks on HBO, and their team that they're covering this year is the Texans. Now, I live in Houston. My girlfriend works for the Texans, as far as, like, she's a tailgate ambassador. I have plenty of friends who are fans of the Texans, but I grew up loving the Cowboys. I've been a Cowboys fan since probably I was a young infant. Love them. They're America's team in my eyes. I followed them through thick and thin. They're one of the only teams where I don't jump off the bandwagon. Now, Houston used to have the Oilers, and I was a fan of the Oilers, especially when they had Warren Moon, and I was a big fan of theirs until the greatest comeback by the Buffalo Bills, the greatest comeback in NFL history. So it's taken me a while to warm up to the Texans. I think they've got some talented players. J.J. Watt especially, that guy's awesome. So with Hard Knocks and seeing their team and seeing the preseason, I've become a fan. I'm not going to say that I'm going to openly cheer for them all the time. Depending on who they play, I might be more of a fan of theirs than the other team. Obviously, Cowboys are number one. I like the fact the Cowboys beat them, but still, they're growing on me. So there you go. And I have Hard Knocks to thank for that. Now Wednesdays are also NXT days. Much like Raw, NXT I have to watch when it airs, or at least the same night as it airs. And luckily for me, Sam likes the show, so we watch it together. So there are a few takeaways from it. I really enjoy the idea of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. That's great. It just shows they're really putting an emphasis on tag teams. This Tag Team Classic for Dusty Rhodes, I think it's brilliant. I do think Eva Marie lost to Billie Kay. Horrible mistake. You know, she's got to be a little more aware. I know she's developing and she's improving. At the same time, stuff like that is going to leave her open for criticism, and rightfully so. I'm amazed the ref just didn't count the 3, much like they did with Emma, and just let Billie Kay win. But I understand they're trying to elevate Eva Marie. She's just got to be aware. But of course, that's what development's for. It was good to see the Ascension back on NXT, even though if it was short-lived. But at least they got this great reaction. It's good that the fans still support them, especially on NXT. But a team that I really enjoy watching are Jason Jordan and Gable. I really like both guys. I really like their team. They're really, I think they're onto something. And I hope that they win it. Honestly, it would be such a feather in their cap if they won it. And their finisher is pretty awesome. The, like, kind of belly to back to the German, man, where they kind of pass the guy midair. Gable catches him into this bridge, German. I think that's pretty great. So, Thursday, more news to cover, and I watched a lot of wrestling on Thursday, now that I'm thinking about it. Not that I mean, most days I'm watching, but a couple things. Congratulations to Josh Matthews, Madison Rayne on their marriage. I didn't even know they were dating. Awesome, awesome. Congrats to you both. You know what? People can say what they want, but congratulations to John Laurinaitis and Kathy Kalachi, or Calais? Anyway, she is the Bella twins' mother. So people can say what they want, because I don't know what to think of that. But, hey, congratulations, John and Kathy, on your engagement. Congratulations to Tom Brady for getting his suspension overturned. Now look, underinflated footballs, deflated footballs, at the end of the day, I don't care. I'm not one of those people that cares. I wasn't affected by the underinflation or underinflated or deflated footballs. I was not. Now, I understand people that are upset or have this idea about the Patriots. To me, Patriots are a great team, whether they cheat or not. Hey, man, you know, it is what it is. But I think it's going to open Pandora's box, and the NFL's appealing. So we'll see. This thing may never end, but hey, at least we'll get to see Tom Brady in Game 1. Now, unfortunately for me, that means that we will have to deal with him. We being the Cowboys, they're going to have to deal with him when they face the Patriots. Whew, I don't envy them. The Fat Man on Batman podcast. This is Kevin Smith's podcast. He's got Mark Bernardin. Sorry if I butchered his name. But I like the utility belt stuff. I like the interviews that I've been a fan of that podcast for a while because I'm a Batman fan. And I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith, big fan of Batman. So I was hooked on the show, but I like the utility belt. A lot of the stuff they bring up, I think it's great. Now, here's the thing on NXT. One thing I didn't mention because it was, you know, it was what it was. But Blue Pants getting heat. Now, here's the thing about locker room reports. I really don't give them a whole lot of credence, I guess. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention. But I saw this, and of course it was shared all over the place. And apparently some people have an issue with Blue Pants because of her contract. But hey, it is what it is. You know, I'm for one, I'm like, can we get Blue Pants on reality wrestling? You know, she can wrestle wherever. Could we get her on our show because of the reaction that she's been getting? Let's see, what else? I finished Flashpoint. Now, Flashpoint DC, it was kind of this Flash, something happens with Flash, and the history of DC changes. Now, I knew that eventually they would solve it and it would all go back to normal, but I really enjoyed that story, the arc, especially at the end of it, Bruce and Flash, their discussion at the end of it, really touching. And I thought the take on Joker and Batman, that dynamic was awesome as well. Now, there's a companion piece. I'll probably read that. Yeah, I probably will read that, but really enjoyed that. Yeah, with Flash giving the letter to Bruce and it being from his dad, wow, some great storytelling there. Now, on Thursday, I saw what Bret Hart had said about Hulk Hogan's apology. Now, here's the thing. Hogan makes the apology on Monday, and you've got a few people, you know, there are plenty of people that are supportive of him and not supportive of him. And it is what it is. Again, I'm a big fan of Hogan's. I idolized the guy growing up. I still see that guy to some degree, but after listening to Bret, and that was the only thing he talked about. He was being interviewed, talked about how he likes Kevin Owens, how he thinks WWE hasn't been the same since CM Punk left. He even made a little remark about Seth Rollins and how can he be considered a great worker when he injures a guy as badly as he did John Cena. And I thought he had a point. And then the stuff with Hogan. Now, I understand Brett has his opinions of Hogan, and he's got every right to have the opinion that he has. He worked closely with Hogan. He can have his opinion of it. I think the thing is, it got me thinking. Now, I listened to Hogan's interview or his apology, and he did say that's how he was brought up, which some people had a problem with because of, you know, it's like, well, but you're a grown man. By now, hopefully you've gotten out of that. He said Brooke forgave him, and a lot of what he was saying was directed at her. But once I listened to it and watched it, I did have a question. Like, okay, well, she forgave you, but did the guy that you were referring to on the tape, did he forgive you? Have you asked for his forgiveness? Directly. Face to face. I think that would be a great step in the right direction. Now, here's the thing. As long as it's a heated thing, he can apologize all he wants, but he may never go back. I mean, there's going to be an amount of time now. Obviously, money talks, and maybe in time they can bring him back, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't disagree with Bret Hart. He's an idol of mine and a legend. Can't really disagree with him. Now, I watched a lot of wrestling on Thursday, and here's some takeaways from ROH. Whew, man, getting along with this. Yeah, there are a few other things, but takeaways from ROH. Like the Code of Honor, like the Tale of the Tape. I really... The Adam Page, Jay Briscoe match, really great slap by Adam Page the first time. The first one was awesome, great noise, but I'm not a fan of the finisher. I don't know. Like, I used to do a variation of a double, it was like a double underhook tombstone pile driver, and I could do it on small guys. It just never really made that impact because I was always really concerned about how they were going to land. I mean, and then I had an issue when I worked Scott Summers, the only time I got to work him, where he got a stinger from the move, and at that point I stopped doing it. I probably did it once or twice more, and then I just abandoned the move again because it just never made that impact. I was just trying to be different, and I understand what Adam Page is trying to do, but at the same time I just don't like the move. I don't know. I don't like it. People react to it, but it just it was what it was. I do like the commentary team of Carino and Kevin Kelly. I like the fact that they give this big backstory and of all the matches and all the combatants, and they really, I like what they do. Gotta say, I like the finishing sequence between Alexander and Coleman, especially with Moose knocking out Alexander. I thought that was good. The match, everything leading up to it, it was what it was. I really wasn't as invested in it. Maybe I'm just not, the guys don't resonate with me. I like Vita Scott, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't really interested until the very end. I think a lot of it was because it felt like they were doing moves for moves' sake as opposed to like telling the story. Like, I want more personality from entrances and whatnot. That's just my personal take on it. One guy gets a great reaction. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of his, but I'm a big fan of his reaction. Is Cheeseburger. He's got to be one of the most over guys in ROH. I mean, when he comes out, the fans are just into him. Now, a guy that I do like, and he's probably one of my favorite characters on television, period, is Dalton Castle. Just the promo and his mannerisms, the fact that he doesn't lose his character once the bell rings, like he remains in character and the people are behind him and he's got the two boys, his boys and whatnot. Yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of his. And I will say this, Jay Lethal to me is the total package and a great representative of ROH. I like the fact that he's a dual champion. I like the fact how he carries himself with the Truth, House of Truth. And I was really impressed by Hanson. I thought that match was solid from start to finish. Because Hanson, man, he's agile and he'll do a couple of like really athletic things, but at the same time, just the intensity that he brings to moves and the intensity that he brings to the ring. But Jay Lethal, man, just, wow, total package. Takeaways from Impact. It was actually called TNA TakeOver. I looked at my info and then I had to take a second glance at that because I was like, what? Wait a minute. TNA, TakeOver, the great thing about Impact, if you don't want to watch the show, you don't want to sit through 2 hours of it, they release on YouTube the day after. They release a 60-minute like highlight package of everything, kind of all the hits and misses. They're doing quite a bit on YouTube. Like they've got the Knockouts workout, which is great. They've got the Fireside Chat with EC3, which I'm a fan of. His first Fireside Chat was awesome, and I've watched a couple since. But like the Knockouts workout, like they've got a couple of stuff. Like they use YouTube really well. I think the Global Force Wrestling Jeff Jarrett corporate hostile takeover has potential. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, even though they've already put out spoilers of what's going to happen, and I think like in a couple of weeks they're doing like the fight for total control. I think they could have kind of milked that till Bound for Glory, but whatever. They've filmed a whole slew of things. I don't know how many months of television they've got in the can, but they've got quite a bit. Yeah. What else? Like I said, Bram being on my television still, I don't know if I agree with that, especially with this guy being charged and arrested. And if he's convicted, what are you going to do? And I understand, it is what it is. But if you say he's indefinitely suspended, then take him off your television. Edit him out of it. He's not doing anything of real big merit on the show. You kind of have him doing his own, you know, these matches. So, I don't know. Take him off TV. At least until you get to the bottom of what's going to happen with him from a legal standpoint. And don't get me wrong, I like Bram. He's one of the few shining spots on that show as far as a character goes. He resonates with me. I like watching his stuff. So it's not a thing in that respect. It's just, hey, if you say you indefinitely suspended him, then take him off television. But here's the thing. For me, the best thing that TNA has ever done, outside of building the X Division, there are other things that I like, which I'll get into in a minute. But the thing that, when it's all said and done, the thing that they've done best so far is EC3. From the arc, the fact he's undefeated, they brought this kid in from NXT, being released by WWE, and he has knocked it out of the park with everything that they've given him. So it's a beautiful marriage of the office and creative being on board with this guy, and this guy doing what needs to be done and doing it really well. And they've stayed the course with him, making him undefeated, or hasn't been pinned, hasn't been submitted. I know he's lost like by DQ and this, that, and the other, but he's still like undefeated for all intents and purposes. And to do it for like 2 years, well, not 2 years, almost 2 years. It's a thing of beauty, and the fact that he's champ and just the stuff, the package with him and Tyrus and all of it, I think it's great. And there was like one instance when he was being announced, and they were doing the boxing entrances, and you had the camera on him, and it's kind of like he's slowly lifting the belt, and it just zooms, just perfect shot. And then as they say his name, it's the slow and the pacing and the camera work. It's just awesome. He's like the best thing that they've got. Period. As far as like a creation of TNA, he's the best thing that they've got. I don't think of anything else. I mean, you can say AJ Styles and a few others like the originals, but honestly, man, from day one, like, I don't think they've really messed him up at all. I like Bobby Roode as King of the Mountain champion. I do. And I will say this. One of the main reasons that I watch TNA is for the Dollhouse. Taryn Terrell and Jade and Marty, like, I like that. Not so sure about Rebel being in that, because I don't know. But I like the Dollhouse, and they were one of my reasons for watching watching the show. Much like at one point, The Beautiful People was a big reason why I would tune in. The entrance, their entrance, the character, you know, Madison Rain and Angelina Love and Velvet Sky. Now they've rejoined and reunited, and they're going to take on the Dollhouse. And so I will be tuning in every week probably. Also, to end my Thursday, I watched the After Chat on YouTube with Bill Apter with Booker T. And did like that. He hyped his Heated Conversations. I've listened to those. I think they're great stuff. So if you can listen to the Heated Conversations podcast with Booker T, he hyped the new building in Texas City for Reality of Wrestling. He hyped our impending debut on CW 39, Sunday, September 20th at 11 a.m. So I've said it again. Also hyped up Mysterious Q as his current champion. Get into that in a minute. So Friday, I finally listened to the second part of Steve Austin and Wade Keller. Again, Steve Austin, a legend. Value his opinion. He didn't like the Steve Amell influence in the match, but I was like, Wade Keller and I didn't have a problem with it. Didn't have a problem with it. I think he showed out well. It's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, I enjoyed their take on SummerSlam. I'm a big fan of Austin and his podcast, so I listen to it every week. Also, Sabu made some comments. Now, some comments earlier, a couple weeks back, were made from a promoter, the PWS promoter, about some issues he had with Sabu. Now, here's the thing. I've worked with Sabu. Of course, it was over 10 years ago, and we had a couple of, like 3 or 4 interactions with each other, maybe like 5 interactions with each other. Always a gracious guy with me. I felt like he really helped elevate me in the eyes of PCW. And I have tons of respect for that guy. Hung out with him. Really cool guy, seemingly genuine guy. And so when I heard about what the promoter had said about him, I was like, okay, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. And then, because I never heard a bad, disparaging thing about Sabu's professionalism as far as with dealing promoters, again, when he worked for PCW, didn't really hear any issues with him. But then he responded to it. I guess he was doing an interview. And I gotta say, he's entitled to his opinion, but the stuff he said about Fall Ba, I don't know, man. I know that guy. Guy's a good guy. I think I'm a fan of his work, so I don't understand why Sabu would necessarily have a problem with the guy. It is what it is, but I don't know, man. Like, that's just a shame. It's a shame. It really kind of paints the indie wrestling in a negative light. And like guys of Sabu's generation, like it paints him in a bad light too. So it is what it is. Couple shows that I love currently. Review. Love that show. I give it 5 stars. It is just awesome. It's comedy gold. And the way that they kind of pay off everything, the seasons and all that. I mean, last season, because he reviews life. He reviews like life events, and he had to divorce his loving wife, which has set a whole tailspin of things. Like it's carried over to this season, and I just am a big fan of that. I'm also a big fan of Documentary Now. I mean, seriously, they've been doing great television for the last 50 seasons. This is no different. I think it's great on so many levels. The one this week with Jack Black and kind of like this this take on Vice, I think, an HBO documentary series, I believe, and just Hader and Fred Armisen, just God, it's just phenomenal stuff. Also, I got to give credit where credit's due. I am a big fan of Blaze Pizza. We've gone like 2 or 3 times, me and Sam, and they're right by the apartment. And if you have a Blaze Pizza anywhere near you, you should go to it. It's a great pizza place. It's probably my favorite pizza of all time. I mean, I've tried other places. You know, Papa John's used to be, I used to be a big fan of it. Pizza Hut here and there, but really, like, Papa John's used to be my favorite until, and I've had like Olive Garden and Carrabba's. I had their pizza, but really Blaze Pizza, woo! And their prices are good. Can't ask for more. Also, I have this on my DVR, and we're just now like trying to get through it. We're on like episode 4 of True Detective for the 2nd season. I was a big fan of the first season. Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson and that storyline, and I couldn't, like, we had to watch it when it aired. And this one, for whatever reason, it's now starting to kind of get me a little bit, but I'm not in a hurry to finish it. I don't know what that says about it. But I will say this. Does anyone remember when Rachel McAdams was a mean girl? Like, do you remember back then? And look at what she's doing now. Like, I've never seen her in a role like this. Maybe except for The Hot Chick. That might have been the only time where she kind of showed that edgy side. Like this, she's doing a phenomenal job. And honestly, when did Vince Vaughn become such a badass? Like my God, he beats this dude up and takes his teeth. What? God. So I'm gonna give it another try. Hopefully over the weekend we'll finish watching it, since we've got the Labor Day holiday. Anyway, Saturday. So that brings us to today. I can't believe I got through like 6 pages of notes. It's like a page a day. I usually only have like a page or 2 of notes, unless I'm reviewing something. And I guess since I'm reviewing the week, well, there you have it. So, Saturday. Man. Watching more wrestling. Now, I'm still playing Arkham Knight. Again, I'm at 94% as of today. Trying to get through some of that stuff. I've got a couple of Most Wanted stuff that I need to wrap up, but man! So, I finally got to see SmackDown. Here's some takeaways from SmackDown. I can't wait for the Monday Night War Volume 2 with Eric Bischoff, and like never before heard and seen comments. I cannot wait. It looks like he's going to have a good time just talking about this stuff. It's on the network. I must see it. Even the New Day doing commentary. Brilliant. Brilliant. And I gotta admit, the trombone is an excellent, excellent choice, Xavier Woods. You go, man. That entire group. I am just enjoying what I'm seeing with the New Days on my television screen. I love the potential, or better yet, I see the potential in Ascension joining forces with Stardust and having like this, it's like another trio, man. Like, oh, I don't know. And then you got the Wyatts, and then you got Ambrose and Reigns and a potential 3rd member. You got the New Day, and if the Dudleys can get Spike, like, oh my God, it could be like a 6-man. And they, but anyway, welcome to the Cosmic Wasteland. Thank you for welcoming me, Stardust. I appreciate it. I enjoy your work. Sir, you can do no wrong in my eyes. You continue to do what you're doing. Not that you need my permission. I'm just saying. I also enjoyed Sheamus versus Cesaro. I like a hard-hitting match. Now, I like both guys. I think, you know, Cesaro's in a good spot. It's just it's that climb. And hopefully, very soon, he'll be winning the matches that he's losing. But bro, he is bringing it every time he's out there. Kudos to him. I'm also intrigued to see Kevin Owens versus Ryback. I want to see what Ryback is going to be able to do with Owens. I like Ryback's work. I think for what he is and the reaction he gets, I'm fine with it. I'm also a tremendous fan of Kevin Owens. I want to see what he can do with Ryback. I think it's going to be pretty solid. Now, if he can pop a powerbomb Ryback, dude, I thought it was impressive when he got Cena or Riley. They're a couple bigger guys, but what he gets with Cesaro, Cesaro's athletic. If If he can do it to Sheamus, I'm curious, but God, if he can get Ryback, kudos, man. And again, I think I want to see if they're going to approve of Charlotte's petition to have Nikki defend the title prior to the record being broken. We'll see what happens. The Authority might be like, nope, we're just going to let her do it because her mom's going to marry John Laurinaitis and she's dating John Cena. I don't know. Again, rumors are rumors. I don't really care. It is what it is. I'm just intrigued by the show. Now, I didn't get to see it before, but Reality Wrestling got to see, I think it's episode 73. I believe it's episode 73. By the time you see this, episode 74 will probably have been released on YouTube. So, 73 is already on YouTube. Go check out 74. Still on the cube, at least until September 20th, and then it'll be on the CW, and apparently, according to book, it'll probably be on the streaming service. I'm not sure of that, but if it is, and you're not in the Houston area, find it. Find it on YouTube. Find it! It's a great show, and it's part of, something that I'm a part of, and something a lot of my friends are a part of, and support it. Most of you who listen to this have probably seen it, but if you haven't, go to Reality Wrestling's YouTube page. They've got episodes from before they started on the cube, like 20 or 30 episodes before they got on the cube, so you can see some of the history of Reality Wrestling, and quite a history it's been. But anyway, finally got to see, so it would have been last Saturday's show, episode 73. A couple of takeaways. Alex Reigns, Death Reigns finish. That is a brutal looking finish. Like, he gave it a Shawn Hendricks. Wow, oh my God, and Shawn, like, it looked like his face was going to explode. It's just a great finisher. And Shawn, not to be outdone, his promo stuff, I'm a fan of his promo stuff. I'm a fan of the Legion concept in general. I am a Legion fan, especially Cedric Payne and Gabriel. But of course, Sky and Bartek. Am I missing anyone? No, Bartek, Cedric, Gabriel, Sky, Shawn. No, fan of all. Fan of all. I see a lot of worth in each guy, a lot of potential in everybody. Anyway, I thought the highlight package and promo for Brian Keith, brilliant. I thought it was good. The wanted poster and all that, the fact that he's the bounty hunter for Sharn Bell, that's good stuff. Good stuff. I liked Eric's match with JJ Blake. Like both guys. Really enjoyed Eric's fire. And I like what Andrew's doing. I like the now you know. And his take on stuff I think is pretty good. Rex Andrews is gone. That was another good highlight package. That dark match, a thing to see. And Gustavo's promos are always some of the best. Same thing with Abel Andrew Jackson's promos. Big fan of those. And I really enjoyed the Los Vatos Jr. Vala Ball match. I thought that was great. And to have it end with Mysterious Q coming back, returning to Reality Wrestling. Unmasked, it's crazy. It's kind of surreal, man. I don't remember him ever being an unmasked guy before. So, well, just curious how it goes. I mean, I've seen the future, but again, how it's portrayed when it's released. Cannot wait. So yeah, that's about it. Now, I know John Cena had gotten hurt at one point, but he's seemingly okay. He's going to be okay. I saw the video. It is what it is. You know, accidents happen. I think Kevin Owens is going to be fine again. It's an accident. Balance and whatnot. It is what it is. So luckily, John is going to be okay. Now, I filmed this on Saturday, so last night, or Friday, at VIP, a company I've heard good things about in the Metroplex area, a friend of mine had her last match. Claudia. I've known Claudia for a lot of years. When I was really kind of getting my feet, getting started with PCW, she was someone that I met early on. We've been friends for a lot of years. I know she had talked about walking away from wrestling. It's, you know, a couple of years ago, she talked about it. I mean, you know, this is a rough business, and if you're trying to do other stuff, there's a lot of drama sometimes, injuries, you know, just trying to take care of your family, just trying to have the right job, just trying to focus on the right things. You know, I talked to her today, actually, just see how she was, you know, how she's feeling after her last match. There's always been kind of this inside thing that I helped create Claudia. So I know at my roast she had mentioned that I thought, oh, it'd be great if we had done, you know, like she has her match, regardless of how it goes, and I come out like Meet Joe Black style, like just like welcome her to retirement, so to speak. She got a kick out of that, but you know, when you know it's the right time, you know it's time to step away. She's trying to do other things. She's trying to, like, you know, get on with her life, you know, journey and whatnot, and trying to enjoy every minute of it. I will say, you know, had great memories with her, good times with her, and I think, I know, always got a great reaction from fans. She was always a hard worker. She's one of the first women to work men, especially at PCW, you know, kind of out of necessity because we didn't have a lot of women. I mean, we got Jessica James later on, but her times in the ring were few and far between as far as on PCW's Saturday show or Full Throttle. I mean, she was kind of a mainstay at Uncut. I made her a mainstay. But again, in part to try to get Jessica and Claudia to lock horns so Claudia could work a woman. But with all that being said, I have immense respect for Claudia, and I wish her luck in whatever she does in her future. I know she's got some big plans, and I, for one, am looking forward to seeing what comes about, what the next chapter for her is. I've heard that there's potentially a roast, and I think that if there is and schedule can be worked out, I probably will return the favor and appear on that one. But not sure when that's going to happen. So again, love you doll. I hope all is well. Safe journey, good journey, and all that. So I don't know how often I'll do these. I want to do a video every week, so if I'm not able to come up with a topic, like something, I mean, most of my videos are kind of like this, although I really wanted to see what it would be like to cover, like, my viewing habits for the week. A lot of wrestling, a lot of comedy, a lot of video games, so it's just, yeah. Now, NFL season's starting, so that'll take up some of my attention, as well as other things going on. I mean, as we get the new building and everything set up, I'm sure my time's going to be taken away. I know, like I said, next Saturday, September 12th, usually, like I said, I record these so on Saturday, so we'll see when I'll record it, probably earlier in the week. I'm not sure when, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. But again, just having a blast, man, and I'm going to try to release another video every Sunday, at least through the end of the year. That's the plan as of now, and then we'll see where we go. I'm really trying to look at what's next. I know me and Sam have got, I don't want to really talk about it, but yeah, we're going to start this workout program. She's there's a group together, and they're going to do the same, like, workouts and eating plan and whatnot, and she wants to partake in it, so I thought I would support her and take part in it as well. Who knows? I've been battling a couple, like, little injuries here and there. Finally feeling almost 100%, so now's as good a time as any. So, I'll stop rambling. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your comments. No questions this week, but hey, if you got a question or there's a topic you want me to talk about, feel free to hit me up. As I always like to stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy. If you're enjoying life in general, then you're already all of those. Until the next time, later!